All right, now that we're about halfway through the playoffs, there's a lot of talk about where players like Giannis, Durant, whoever should end up come offseason. I want to go through a short list of those. Starting first with Kevin Durant. I'm not a KD guy. I've said it many times. The way he quit on the Rockets was ridiculous. But either way, he still has talent, still has value. But I don't think he can be the one. I think those days are beyond him. Even in his prime, he excels when he doesn't have one pressure on him. So I think a great spot for him would be Denver. This is a team that's too dependent on the health of their wing players, guys like Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. in the past. I think having KD here, even though he was just hurt, is a good fit offensively to help Jokic and Murray. While I love the combo of Jokic and Murray, Denver's needed help offensively late game. I think this is the best win-win for Durant and the Nuggets. Giannis, we've heard this one a million times. It's always something with the Warriors, always something with the Heat. Honestly, I still think that Orlando would be the best fit for him. You would have to give up someone like Paulo or Franz and go from there, but I think it's worth it. I do think pairing Giannis with Steph in Golden State is worth the risk. You have a slashing paint threat and a perimeter threat. I don't think Miami's worth it because I know they want to pair him with Bam. That would kind of create a logjam in the paint without having shooters because Hero would likely be gone. But I gotta understand taking the risk there and see what you can add later. I'm talking about Steph and the Warriors. If they do not land a guy like Giannis, I think Steph should be moved out of there. And honestly, in a super not going to happen kind of way, I think Orlando's the best fit for him as well. Orlando lacks a guard that can create as a true point guard, but also be a shooter. I think it's a perfect fit for him. That's never going to happen, but just wanted to throw that in. Devin Booker, keep it simple. He should go to Detroit. I think Detroit needs some half-court scoring, and I don't think Denver Booker's one on any team at this point. He's a talented scorer, but he's not going to lead you to a chip individually. Detroit needs a guy that can create his own bucket, especially around the perimeter. He's from Michigan, and it would be a perfect fit for a team like Detroit. Looking back at Miami, Bam Adebayo. I honestly think that Boston would be the perfect fit for him. However, I don't want to see that happen because it would take getting rid of someone like either Tatum or Brown. And I don't think individually having one of those guys with Bam is going to excel this team further than just having what you already have in Boston. Sidebar there with Boston, there's already a lot of talk about Jaylen Brown getting moved. I don't think they should separate him from Tatum. Let's see how Tatum looks next season. Just let him keep doing what they're doing. But back to Bam. If you're going to move him from Miami, I think the best fit for him would be the Lakers. Yeah, there's a lot of logistics and finances that complicate this, but just in a fanatical world, I think that's a perfect fit. This would be assuming that LeBron stays with the team, but either way, I still think that's a great spot for Bam to land. It's everything the Lakers need right now. And looking at LeBron, aside from the Bam situation, just as is, if he were to run it back with the Lakers, I understand, but I still think Cleveland is the better fit for him. He has nothing left to prove in Cleveland, but if you added him back to this Cavs roster as is, I think he's a great fit for what they do. There'll be some chemistry issues early on, but I still think roster-wise, it's a great spot for LeBron to end his career. All right, so Embiid. Philly should not be the spot, even though I think that's where he's going to stay. It's time for that team to rebuild, get rid of Paul George, get rid of Embiid, build around Edgecombe and Maxey. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to talk about Embiid. As boring as it is, I think a team like Toronto is the best fit for Embiid. It's not a flashy landing spot, but if you look at that roster with Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Ingram, I think that is a piece that would take them to the next level, assuming he's healthy. Embiid can no longer be the guy you rely on because of his health. His talent's still there, clearly, but that's irrelevant. He's never on the court. So I think a team like Toronto that has a lot of talent now they can build around could take a chance on having a guy like Embiid and band-aid him in and see what happens. Last on the list, Zion Williamson. He gets forgotten compared to the rest of these guys because he's not a playoff contender. Because of his injury history, you could probably get him on the low, and I think a team like Charlotte should do that. He's from North Carolina, and the Hornets are a team that struggle to land big profile free agents. Zion would be somebody that can land on the cheap that I think pairs well with LaMelo. The Hornets look great in the second half of the season. They're starting to click. I like the Kobe White addition. If most things remain the same and you added in a guy like Zion, I think this team could really click. Yes, he has his health issues and things like that, but at this point, if you're a team like the Pelicans, you're looking to start fresh. If you're a team like the Hornets, you're looking for the next step, the next big piece. I know Hornets fans are going to want a guy like Steph Curry, him being from there, his father just having his jersey retired, but realistically, that won't happen to the last year or so of Steph's career, if at all. They're better off taking a chance on a guy like Zion now, where the price is cheap, and just see what happens.